Have you ever looked at a string of letters or symbols and felt a chill run down your spine? Not because they were scary, but because you knew they held a secret, a story locked away from the world, just waiting for the right key. These aren't just puzzles, they're echoes from the past, messages from minds long gone, or perhaps warnings from those who never wanted to be found. They are the ultimate challenge to human intellect, taunting us with the promise of hidden treasure, forgotten knowledge, or even the identity of a killer. For centuries, the world's greatest minds, cryptographers, historians, and amateur sleuths, have thrown themselves at these walls of code, only to be met with silence. My name is Albert, and welcome to Unknown Facts. We're about to journey into a world where language breaks down and mystery takes over. A world of ciphers that have guarded their secrets for decades or even millennia. If you enjoy unraveling the unknown, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. You won't want to miss where these clues lead. Our first stop is perhaps the white whale of cryptography, a document so bizarre, so utterly alien, that some have questioned if it's an elaborate, centuries-old hoax. I'm talking about the Voynich manuscript. Picture this, a book, about 240 pages long, filled with elegant, flowing script. The problem? The language it's written in is completely unknown. The manuscript is named after Wilfrid Voynich, the Polish book dealer who found it, but its origins are traced back to at least the 15th century. For over 100 years, the best and brightest have tried to crack it. Even the legendary codebreakers of World War II, the same minds that broke the Enigma code, were left completely stumped. And then there are the illustrations. Oh, the illustrations. They are just as baffling as the text. We see bizarre, fantastical plants that don't exist in nature, with roots and leaves that seem to defy botany. There are charts of stars and constellations that don't match any known celestial map, some looking almost like galaxies or cells under a microscope. The most talked about section is the balneological section. It shows dozens of small naked women, many with prominent abdomens, bathing in pools and interconnected tubes filled with a strange green liquid. Imagine a treasure worth millions of dollars in today's money, gold, silver, and jewels, buried somewhere in the rolling hills of Virginia. Now imagine the only map to this fortune is a set of 3 cryptic messages, complex ciphers that have held their secrets for nearly 200 years. This is the legend of the Beale ciphers. According to the tale, Beale and a group of men discovered a massive hoard of gold and silver in the American West in the early 1820s. To safeguard their fortune, they transported it to Bedford County, Virginia, and buried it. Beale then created 3 ciphers. The first described the location of the treasure, the second described its contents, and the third listed the names of the men who were its rightful heirs. In a stroke of genius, he realized it was a book cipher, where numbers correspond to the first letter of a word in a specific text. The key, he discovered, was the United States Declaration of Independence. Tucked away in a quiet courtyard at the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, stands a sculpture that is more than just a piece of art. It's called Kryptos. The sculpture itself is a large, wave-like copper screen, perforated with nearly 2,000 characters that make up 4 encrypted passages. The first 3 passages were solved, revealing a strange, poetic narrative. The third passage is a chillingly direct quote from archaeologist Howard Carter, describing the moment he opened the tomb of King Tutankhamun. But then there's the 4th passage, known as K4. It's just 97 characters, and it has stumped everyone. Sanborn has revealed that certain characters decode to Berlin and clock, but these clues have only deepened the confusion. Some codes, are puzzles of history or treasure, but others are far more sinister. They're the taunts of a predator, messages sent from the heart of darkness. That's exactly what happened with the ciphers of the Zodiac Killer, one of America's most infamous and, honestly, most elusive serial murderers. His first, a 408-symbol cryptogram, was sent in 3 parts to 3 different papers. It came with this terrifying ultimatum: publish the code on your front page, or he'd go on a killing rampage that weekend. The most notorious of these is the 340 cipher, named for its 340 characters. It arrived in November 1969, and for over half a century it stayed completely unbroken. But then, in December 2020, after 51 years of silence, the code was finally broken by a team of 3 amateur codebreakers from around the world. On the morning of December 1, 1948, a man's body was discovered on Somerton Park Beach in Adelaide, Australia. He was well dressed, with no signs of violence, but he was dead. All the labels on his clothes had been meticulously removed. He had no wallet, no identification. He was a complete ghost. The investigation took a bizarre turn when they discovered a tiny hidden fob pocket sewn into the man's trousers. Inside was a small, tightly rolled piece of paper, printed with the words, "Tamam Shud." Inside the back cover of the book, written in pencil, were 5 lines of what appeared to be code. It looked like this: Wargoababd, Meliaoi, W. Tibimpanetbi, Miliaboayakak, Itaam Samstgab. Sir Edward Elgar is one of England's most celebrated composers, famous for majestic pieces like the Pomp and Circumstance marches. But he also had a playful, mischievous side, and a deep fascination with puzzles and ciphers. In 1897, he sent a short, coded note to a close friend, Dora Penny. The note was just 87 characters long, a series of strange looping symbols that looked like nothing seen before. The symbols themselves are what make the cipher so unique and so difficult. There are 24 distinct symbols, each made up of 1, 2, or 3 semicircles oriented in 8 different directions. Let's travel back in time, way back, to the ancient world of the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete. In 1908, an Italian archaeologist named Luigi Pernier was excavating the ruins of a Minoan palace at Phaistos. In an underground temple repository, he found something extraordinary: a flat, circular disc of fired clay, covered on both sides with a spiral of stamped symbols. There are 45 unique signs depicted, including images of people, animals, tools, and plants. We see a running man, a captive with his hands tied, a woman, a fish, a bird, and a symbol that looks like a helmet with a crest. In the serene English countryside of Staffordshire stands a grand 18th century monument known as the Shepherd's Monument. The monument itself is a stone carving, a relief that depicts a copy of a famous painting by Nicolas Poussin. But it's not the carving that has baffled people for centuries, it's the cryptic inscription carved below it. A sequence of 10 letters, OUOSVAVV, framed by the letters D and M. For over 250 years, this short, enigmatic inscription has attracted some of the greatest minds in history, including Charles Darwin and Charles Dickens, both of whom tried and failed to solve it. Most unsolved codes are mysterious because their creators are long gone. But what if a cryptographer created a cipher so complex that he himself forgot how to solve it? That's the bizarre story of the Dagapeev cipher. In 1939, Alexander Dagapeev published a book called Codes and Ciphers, including a challenge cipher for readers to test their skills. In later correspondence, Dagapeev sheepishly admitted that he had completely forgotten how he had encrypted the message. He had created a lock and then promptly lost the key. Our final mystery takes us back to ancient Crete, to the same Minoan civilization that gave us the Phaistos disk. But unlike the disk, this is not a one-off puzzle. This is an entire administrative language that we still cannot read. I'm talking about Linear A. In the 1950s, Michael Ventris famously deciphered Linear B, proving it was an early form of Greek. Because Linear A and Linear B share many symbols, it was hoped that deciphering one would unlock the other. But when scholars tried this, the result was gibberish. So we have the sounds, but we don't know what the words mean. It's like being able to pronounce every word in a Russian novel without having any idea what the story is about. From the forgotten language of the Minoans to the cryptic taunts of a modern killer, these codes represent the outer limits of our understanding. They are locked boxes of history, and despite our best efforts, the keys remain elusive. What's so fascinating is that the answer to any one of these could change everything. The Beale ciphers could lead to a real-life treasure hunt. The Voynich manuscript might contain lost medical knowledge, and the Zodiac's final codes could finally give a name to a monster. What do you think these codes say? Do you have a theory about the Voynich manuscript or the Shugborough inscription? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the world of the unsolved, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Unknown Facts for more deep dives into the mysteries that surround us. Thanks for watching.